Hey everyone, it's Matt with jinX Brothers, and today we're going to cover the top 10 quarters to look for while you're coin roll hunting. I know, like myself, many of you struggle to figure out what the heck should I be looking for. So what I've done is I've gone through all the modern quarters to look for. Now this is all pre-silver. I know that everybody knows to look for silver, but these are the top 10 coins that I think you should keep your eyes peeled for based upon current value, true value, I should say. There's plenty of things you can look for, but these are the ones worth the most. Stay tuned. Alrighty, let's kick off the list with my number 10, the 1967 DDO and DDR. I did both because they come off of a single coin. Neither of them are incredibly valuable, but they certainly have some nice value to them and are worth looking for. You can expect to get anywhere from $25 to a couple $100 from the coin. For the DDO, check around Liberty, and for the DDR, check around the United States of America. Next on the list, number 9. An early one, 2004 D Extra Leaf. This one I'm still hunting for myself. I really want to find this. I think it's a very cool air. And it's pretty valuable considering it's a pretty modern coin. I mean, this coin is from 2004. Both airs can be found to the left of the corn husk on the reverse, and there is a low version and a high version. Both are likely to snag you at least $100, and you know they could get you upwards of $1,000 or a couple of $1,000 if you can find it in uncirculated condition. But definitely one you want to keep your eyes peeled for. Number 8. 1971 D DDR. This is actually recognized both by PCGS and NGC, with the auction record being $1,093. It's likely to sell for about $75 and can be as much as $250 plus. What you're looking for on this coin is thicker letters on the United States of America. So keep your eyes peeled for those 1971 Ds. Number 7, 1968 D DDR. Now we're starting to get a little bit better value. These ones are going to bring you probably at least $100 and likely more, especially if you can find it in better condition. It has doubling throughout the reverse, so it's going to be pretty easy to pick up. And it has an auction record of $5,250. So keep your eyes peeled for a good one because it's well worth it. On to number 6. 1970 D. Oh, we've got a double again. DDO and DDR. I know the reason why I'm doing doubles is you are looking for a specific coin generally when you're coin roll hunting. And so I'm keeping them based upon the varieties you'd find in particular coinage. These actually have 2 varieties for each of the versions. So you've got a ton to look for in this coin. The lesser examples are probably going to bring you about $75 and they'll go up from there. The DDO is the higher ticket item as far as the airs are concerned, but they both have a little bit of nice value to them. So again, the early 70s and the late 60s are great places to look for some airs. On to number 5, 1966 DDR. Now this one's not recognized by PCGS, but that shouldn't keep you from or discourage you from looking for this one. NGC does recognize it, and they have it tabbed as FS801, and it's going to bring you about $75 and up based upon condition. You're going to find extremely strong doubling on United States of America e pluribus unum, and quarter dollar. So while I prefer to have coins that are recognized by PCGS, I think this is certainly one that should make the list. Number 4, 1965 DDO. This is right on the cusp of silver years. Another great coin, recognized by both PCGS and NGC, and will bring anywhere from $100 to $1,000 based on condition. What you're looking for is some strong doubling in God We Trust, and moderate doubling that you'll find around the date and Liberty. But a really cool coin to find, and certainly something you should keep your eyes peeled for. Number 3, one of my favorites, the 1976 DDO. We all hunt for 1976s. The bicentennial is a huge, eye catcher. People love the coin, and this carries a little bit higher of a premium because of that. It actually is not does not have strong doubling in it. But if you can find this DDO, plan on snatching a couple $100 to a couple $1,000, all based on condition, as always. Doubling will be throughout Liberty, and it'll be mildly on the top portion of In God We Trust, but you really want to keep your eyes peeled. In the Liberty, you'll see doubling, especially on the L, the I, and the B. So it's certainly a fun one to hunt for, because I know most people tend to at least take a little bit longer look at the 1976s as they're going through their coins. Number 2, 2009 DDR. Talk about a young coin. This one's barely over 10 years old, and it's almost on the top of the list. Record sale for this one is $3,055, and that was in 2014 by Heritage. Values are going to be wildly all over the place based on condition, but you're looking at anywhere from $50 to up to $4,500 if it's in sharp shape. Don't think it's going to be easy though. There are less than 20 graded examples currently at PCGS. You're looking for that dropped ELL on the Ellington. And there's also some other lesser varieties that have some doubling around the same vicinity of the coin. So keep your eyes peeled for those as you're looking. They are not going to pull the same kind of dollars, but if you can find this one, it's going to bring top dollar. Before I get to number 1, I thought we'd cover a few honorable mentions. Some didn't quite make the list, and others were just a little too abstract, and I really didn't want to include them because of that. First, let's talk about quarters on a silver planchet. Not that silver quarter. Well, yes, that silver quarter. I'm not talking about the silver quarter years, which is 64 and prior. I'm talking about a silver quarter that is not supposed to be a silver quarter, which would be after 1964. They've found this variety in 65, 67, and 70 so far. And if you can find a silver quarter that's not supposed to be a silver quarter, you're probably looking at least $1,000, if not a couple of $1,000s, but they're very tough to find. So again, the obscurity is why I kept that off the list, but they can be found. So definitely look out for silver quarters for non-silver years, especially late 60s, early 70s. Next on the list is a quarter that's minted on a dime planchet. Pretty weird, right? Well, it happens, and surprisingly, it happens more often than you might think. The way you'll tell these ones here is they're going to be underweight. They're going to weigh anywhere from 4.2 to 4.4 grams. A regular quarter should be about 5.67 grams. And because it's a thinner planchet, or it was made for a dime, when they are minted, it's going to be much thinner as well. So look for an underweight coin that is on a thinner looking planchet. Now these aren't, even though that seems strange, they're not overly valuable. You're gonna be able to get anywhere from $25 to $100. And you can find these in just about any year, but they tend to be, there tends to be a lot of them in the 60s and early 70s. But keep your eyes peeled because it seems like they make this particular air on a regular basis. And last is our more modern quarters. The big one for me is our W's. Those you're going to find from 2019 and 2020. They come in every single design, and now while some of them are a little bit more valued than others, they don't fetch huge money today, but I'm thinking at some point they may. So at the least case, you've got a $10 quarter, so they're certainly worth looking for, and I'm thinking at some point they'll be worth a lot more once they are much harder to find in circulation. The two others are ones that will keep you busy for every hunt, and that is the Harper's Ferry, which has over 100 varieties, and you're going to find anywhere from the cat on the roof to the doubling in the arched ways to the dyed chips and cuds on the gutter. There's tons and tons of airs in varieties, I should say, on this particular coin. So keep your eyes peeled. Some of them are valuable. A lot of them are not, but they certainly will keep you busy. And that also goes with the Homestead, which has the pump air, the snow on the roof, the leaky bucket, with the pump air being the most valuable of those. Again, a lot of these are ones that you can find and will find on a regular basis. They don't have as much premium, but they're still fun to hunt for. And last but not least, number 1, 1971 DDR. If you can find this one, you're looking at hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. The record for this particular coin is $8,813 by Heritage in 2017. This DDR is going to have very strong doubling on United States of America and on quarter dollar. Certainly worth spending a couple of minutes to look for. So, as you're going through your coins, you know, these are the big ones. There's all kind of airs and varieties that can be found throughout quarters. There's tons of cuds, die chips, gouges, things like that. Remember that while some of these things can be found, a lot of them are going to be more of looking for variety in your coins. They aren't necessarily going to have huge value associated with them. You want to make sure that they're recognized by PCGS or NGC to make sure that you're getting the most value or bang for your buck for the things you're hunting for. If you're just looking for a variety, that's a completely different story. A lot of people are trying to find those little hidden gems that are worth a lot, and this list is kind of the short list for those of you that are hunting. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm trying my hardest to put out content out that makes you happy and educates you in the process. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll catch you all on the next video.